So let me get this straight. Car people are usually never satisfied. Doesn't matter if your ride makes 150 horses or 500. You drive it long enough and eventually you think, yeah, it's quick, but it could be a lot quicker. And that's the crazy thing. It usually can be. You don't need some massive turbo or a blower the size of a jet engine. Most of that extra power is already in your engine, just locked away. Manufacturers hold back because of emissions, reliability, and a fuel economy. DIY tuning is basically about unlocking that potential safely, not throwing some random numbers in your ECU and hoping it doesn't scatter rods across the freeway. Done right, it's the cheapest way to make your car get up. And yeah, once you start it, it's hard to stop. First, let's talk about understanding your engine, the foundation. Before chasing power, you gotta understand the boss of the whole operation, your ECU. Think of it as your car's brain, except instead of thinking about the life of politics, it's obsessing over spark, timing, fuel, and airflow. Here are the big three it cares about. Air to fuel ratio. Too lean, you melt a piston. Too rich, you smell like a rolling barbecue. Next, ignition timing. Spark hits too early or too late, and the engine throws a tantrum. If you nail it, free power. And then last, boost pressure. If you're boosted, this is a fun knob, but stock settings are usually grandma level conservative. And here's the kicker. Companies purposely dial these things back. They want your daily driver safe, efficient, and not stepping on the toes of a higher trim. DIY tuning is stepping in and saying, I know this thing has a lot more to give. Let's find the sweet spot without blowing it up. Okay, now let's step into safe and accessible DIY tuning methods. First stop, you can go to an OBD-II handheld tuners. You plug it in, pick a preload tune, and boom, you're done. It's like the microwave dinner of tuning. Quick, simple, and usually solid. Next level, we have software and tuning suites. This is where you can control air fuel, timing, throttle, and everything. But with great power comes, more ways to screw it up. It's like going from a microwave to a full kitchen, masterpiece, or a house fire. The golden rule with this is log everything. If you're changing stuff without data, you're just guessing. And that's like eating only donuts and expecting a six-pack. Check your temps, trims, knock before and after. Otherwise, you're tuning really blind. Alright, so what does a basic DIY tune actually look like? Spoiler, it's not just plug it in, hit race mode, and suddenly you're walking Hellcat. Step 1. Check the car. Fresh oil, no misfires, no check engine lights. If it's already limping, a tune isn't a miracle cure. It's a nail in the coffin. Step 2. Back up the stock tune. Always. This is for basically a parachute if things go really sideways. And step 3, flash the tune. Whether it's a canned file or a custom map, it's usually just plug in, hit upload, and let your ECU do its thing. Pro tip, don't freak out if your dash lights up like a Christmas tree, it's perfectly normal. Step 4, verify. Take it for a drive, log the data, make sure temps and timing look good. Some folks just hit a dyno, but even a few road polls with proper logging works. That's the gist of the process, not a gamble. Treat it like science, not witchcraft, and you'll be golden. So you flash your first tune, the car feels alive, and now you're wondering how to explain this to your insurance company. What's next? Well, a tune is only as good as the hardware it's running on. Supporting mods, intake, exhaust, intercooler, let it breathe better and make more power safely. Think of it as like giving your car bigger lungs instead of asking it to sprint while chain smoking. Second is maintenance. Tuning doesn't turn your car into a diva, but it does raise the bar. Stay on top of oil, fuel quality, and logs. And finally, the community. One of the best parts about tuning is sharing your wins, fails, data logs with other gearheads. Everyone's chasing that perfect mix of power, safety, and drivability. So drop your own tuning stories in the comments. Good, bad, or completely disastrous. And if this video helped, hit subscribe. And if it didn't, at least pretend it did, so my ECU doesn't throw a check engine light out of spite. Thanks for watching Torque Savvy, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.